All right, we've got some breaking news we're following as well. The FBI just moments ago releasing new video with an appeal for help from the public as it tries to solve one of the biggest mysteries around the January 6th attack on the Capitol. This is the video you're seeing here. A suspect placing one of the bombs near the Democratic National Committee headquarters in D.C. on January 5th, 2021. An explosive was also left at the RNC headquarters. They were real bombs, but they didn't go off. And it's not clear as to why. Something like 600 tips have come in, but so far nothing has led to a break in the case. The FBI still has no suspects and has not determined a motive. I want to bring in Ryan Riley to talk more about this. I was on the steps of the Capitol on January 6th. I remember the fallout from learning that there were these bombs that were found both near the RNC and DNC headquarters. And it's astounding to think that there is still no clarity as to who actually placed them there and what the motive and objective were. Walk us through this video now being released and where they are in this investigation.
Yeah, you know, given all of the news that we've seen elsewhere and all of these other FBI investigations, I think this actually comes at a really important time for informing Americans about just the basics of the FBI, because I think there's this Hollywood image of the FBI and then there's the reality of the FBI. And often that Hollywood image feeds a lot of the conspiracies that we see about what the FBI, because people really just overestimate, I think, their technological capabilities. Massive bureaucracies aren't known for being on the cutting edge of technology all the time. And I think that that's what you sort of got to recognize. With the January 6th case specifically, basically the failure here and what they haven't been able to determine is they haven't gotten a sharp enough image of the suspect's face, and he's very well covered. In fact, you know, some of the sleuths who have worked directly with the FBI and are in fact responsible for hundreds of the arrests that the FBI ultimately made have even went back and forth about whether or not this suspect was a male or a female, and they really, you know, they dove into this. They looked at the shoes. They're really good at following a lot of these leads. The FBI is also attempting to do that now as well. But, you know, I think this investigation, because of the span of the January 6th investigation, really kind of did not get necessarily all of the resources that it would have in a normal time.
I mean, at this point, what is the likelihood that they can solve this thing? And I say that because when you look at the images, and let's bring it up again, guys, if we can, the video of this individual placing these bombs, and then the other image as well of even the individual walking. It is almost impossible. I know they have obviously much more high-tech technology than we have in just watching it on our TV screens, but it's almost impossible to be able to identify these types of individuals. And if you're relying on the public to help out, the memory at this point for many people that may have seen this individual will likely not be very clear.
Yeah, I remember right after January 6th, they put out a request for Ring camera footage that was just outside of the retention request, right? So I think they got some footage, but there was definitely footage in the early days that was missed here. So, you know, I think there are a lot of, there is a report that came out even today from Congress, from Republicans in the House looking back at this, and they said that the FBI had identified several suspects that they looked into preliminarily. But I think you're spot on about that timing, because if you imagine, even if they were able to identify somebody now, getting that over past the, the question of beyond a reasonable doubt is going to be tough, even, you know, given how much time has passed. Yes.
I mean, and listen, obviously, also with everything that has just happened over the last 24 hours here in this country at the start of 2025, you have the inauguration just 18 days away at this point, January 6th, a couple of days away as well, the anniversary of January 6th. This individual very much likely still out there. Ryan Riley, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.